Good afternoon, Woodrow families. It's Carol Bartusik again, principal at Woodrow Wilson Academy. Welcome back to school. We've been working so hard here, trying to get ready for the new school year, and look so forward to seeing all of you tonight in our grass area for our back to school open house. But before that happens, I wanted to share with you a few things you might want to know before the beginning of the school year in terms of how things are working here. All right, as a reminder, Woodrow is all about nurturing, motivating, and exciting students to learn. We do that throughout the entire school year and in the entire grades that we have here at Woodrow. However, our focus is more there down in the elementary grades, and in the upper, we try to focus on that more of that independent and responsible thinking. But we still are a warm, loving school who can't wait to have your kids here on Thursday. I do have some staff announcements to make. We have two new teachers here this year. Mrs. Liz Larson is returning from a long hiatus, taking care of her children, and is coming back to us as a fourth grade teacher. And Mr. Caleb Howerton is going to be our middle school history teacher this year, and is really looking forward to meeting all of our middle school students. We've had lots of teacher changes as well, just some movement, trying something new. So Mrs. Sandoval went to first grade, Mrs. Pacello moved up to second grade, Mrs. Bennett is now in fourth grade, and Mrs. Nielsen is now in sixth. So a little bit of switching and changing happening, but it gives everybody a fresh start and really just re-energizes who they are as a teacher. We also have two new EAs. We have Mrs. Lauren Kokorin, who will be in fifth grade with the fifth grade team. And we also have Mrs. Melissa Little, who will be one of our specials EAs, working in the library and helping with art and with music. Also, we have Mrs. Liz Grubb, who has been our ESL, or English as a Second Language teacher, for several years. We are keeping her full-time, grabbed her from other schools, and she will not only be our ESL teacher through Jeffco, but she's also going to help us with kids this year who may need some extra support, whether that's in case they have to go on a quarantine, or if they're just struggling in an area, or they missed something last year because of all the remote learning and the switching that we did in the schools. And so just helping kids get off on the right foot and catching them up as fast as we can. We have several staff members who we need to celebrate because it is a special anniversary for them. So lots of 10-year vest people this year. They get a really special Woodrow vest. We have Audrey Klein, our school nurse, Keith Larimer, our facility manager, Misty Pacello, our second grade teacher, Megan Sandoval, our first grade teacher, and Joy Watson, our preschool director and teacher, who all have been here 10 years. Lots and lots of longevity here at Woodrow. In addition to that, I have two 15-year employees. They get their very own special parking spaces. One of them is Kim England. She's our financial manager who works up here in the front office. And we also have Katie Finglin, our amazing art teacher, who gets her own spot as well. All right, facility projects, some things going on. One you can't really see because it's all been behind the scenes this summer. Our Field of Dreams down at the south side of the parking lot will start in September, hoping that it's ready to go around March 1st for students to use for soccer practice and at recesses and for PE. I think it's about time we have our own field, and I'm really looking forward to that happening. It's currently sitting in the city and the state, getting approved and reviewed, so that's where we're at, but hoping to break some ground here right around the beginning of September. In the interior, we've had so many things happen, and it probably wouldn't look like too much if you're walking through the building, but it was a heck of a lot because we got new paint and carpet in the media center, in our front offices, in the Spanish room, in the music room, in the intermediate upstairs mezzanine area, in both the fourth grade classrooms. So a lot of things out in the hallways while that was happening and moving them back in. We also got new cubicles in the office for our front office staff so they could have a little bit more privacy sometimes. So I think that will help as well. Our gym floors are being refinished the first 2 days of school because why not? So the kids will definitely be outside for PE the first 2 days of school. And then we also have a very huge surprise thanks to an incredibly generous donation by a wonderful Woodrow family several years ago. And it took that long to convince the district that we could do this and that we could do it right. So we will now have a traverse wall, which is a horizontal climbing wall. And then we have a vertical climbing wall in our gym, and that will be a part of our PE program that the kids can look forward to this year. I want to give a really fast COVID update because there's not a lot. Well, I shouldn't say that. As of last night, JCPH had the mask mandate happen in all schools, public, private, and charter within the school district. So we will all be wearing masks regardless of vaccination status. But all today we've been working, and I'm so thankful. At least we have 2 days to think through this as a school in terms of what it means for us in programming, where Jeffco schools didn't have any time because they started today. So we've been thinking about classrooms, what that looks like. So yes, because everyone's wearing masks, plexiglass will be coming down, and that'll help with sharing supplies and kids being able to interact with the teacher a little bit easier. We've been thinking about all things lunchroom. So we will be able to spread the kids out, and we're having one grade in a lunchroom at a time. Lots of outside eating as well, but that way it can give the kids an opportunity to sit wherever they want with no seating charts and not having to worry about quarantine with their masks off because we've spread them out the way we need to make that happen. I did work with our contact at Jefferson County Public Health today to make sure that we could do that and do that well and do that safely. Also, we have lots of outside areas again for all those mask breaks that we need. So I've been talking to a lot of people about getting those kids outside as often as possible. It's real similar to last year, but especially in that lunch area because we don't have to eat inside our classrooms this year. So trying to make that happen for kids too, to give them as much chance as possible to have masks off when we can. I did want to let you know about if there was a positive COVID case here at Woodrow, what would happen. So if your child is in the classroom where there is a positive case from an individual, you would be notified from a letter by me just saying, hey, we had a positive case in the class. You don't need to quarantine, but just look for symptoms. If your child's fine, send them to school. If they're not, and I tell you the symptoms to look for, then you can please keep them home and let us know here at the school. You'll probably get a phone call from our school nurse, and then you can look at getting tested. And I gave you a link to some testing sites as well. If on the other hand, you have to be quarantined, your child has to be quarantined because they were sitting close enough. It happened to be when masks were off, maybe for some reason during lunch, something happened where they were close enough. You will also get a letter from me stating that your child needs to be quarantined. It'll tell you exactly when the quarantine started, when it ends. Homework, as far as homework goes, all the makeup work is going to be given by the end of the following day. Gives teachers a chance to get that ready. And that will be in the front vestibule, and you can pick that up. As a reminder, for makeup work, you have 2 days for every day absent. If the kids have questions on their makeup work or you do, please email, phone call the teacher. A lot of teachers are okay with trying to chat over the phone or set up a Zoom call if needed to get those kids some help. All right, in the morning, talk about morning because it's changed a little bit from last year because we're starting on time this year. So school will start at 8 a.m., just like it used to be. Drop-off starts at 7:30, real similar to before, but the kids cannot leave their cars until an adult comes up and verbally screens and gets them out. If you can have your child have a mask on, prepared, coats on, shoes on, backpacks ready to go, that really helps us move the line a little bit quicker. But we won't be doing a temperature screening at the car, just a verbal screening, asking if you've gone through the home screening process, if everybody's feeling well, etc. We're still going to use 2 sets of doors in the morning for the kids to come in, so K through 4 through the elementary doors and 5 through 8 through the upper doors. Walkers and bikers, if you have any of them or you're walking your kids to school, that's all being checked by the flagpole, I ask that parents still stay in the grass area so we can kind of separate a little bit. And our actual doors to the school will open at 7:45 for the kids to go in. So they don't go directly inside, but they will wait outside for 15 minutes if you drop them off on the earlier end. No parking in the middle of the parking lot, so it's really, really similar to last year. Everyone has to use the lane. There are only 2 exceptions to that rule. One is pre-K, because they will be coming into the school with masks on, parents, to check in and out your children. And then also kindergarten families just in the mornings. We are not allowing volunteers at this time, except that changed a little bit. If we have an activity outside, a big one, we will be inviting you to that, like field day. You are more than welcome to come and be a spectator there, and it's outside, so no masks required. Or if it's a field trip and we need some help with a field trip, you can volunteer. Those are outside of the school walls, so you can do that as well. If you are a visitor, you are allowed to come in the lobby, remember, with a mask on, and you can drop off things, check people in, check students out, do all of that in your attendance call. If somebody is sick, please call Deb at the front desk by 8:30 in the morning. Just to go over the parking lot a little bit, we have 2 lanes coming in the morning, goes down to 1, and then you go all the way up to the crosswalk at the front of the school. That's where I will be, and just pull all the way up. Each one of us will be checking or screening 2 cars at a time, and then the kids can get out. Remember, they need to have a mask on in order to do that, so have that ready. In the afternoon, school gets out at 3:05, so pretty similar as last year. We're still using Driveline, so you got a number at registration or a reminder tonight at back to school night. We have some tags available if you need to write your number down again, or if you forgot your number, come see us at the general information tent and you can get your number. But otherwise, kids will just come out as their numbers are called and put into the system. If you have grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, neighbor, anybody picking up your children that doesn't have a number, it's okay to write that on a big piece of paper and have them just put it in their front dash. Sometimes it really helps us too if you can put your name, your last name, I should say, on that as well, because that helps us if we can't locate them right away to go to the right spot outside by their last name. Otherwise, no parking again in the middle except for pre-K, who has to come in and check out their kids. So that is the only thing that we allow in the inside of our parking lot with the parking spaces. Pick up, as a reminder too, here's a visual. 3 lanes as you come in, they move down to 2, and then they'll go to 1. We'll pull you up as far as I am in the parking lot. Sometimes it's just in front of elementary. Eventually I move all the way up to the crosswalk, and we'll get your kids in your car as fast as possible. Should they not be out, we'll put your number in again, and we'll call them a couple times in the classrooms until we get them. All right, some other things. There may be late start dates or days this year. So if that happens, if there's some snow, but they really don't think it's enough to close school, that all will go through Jeffco. This is all messenger service as normal. But late start day, everything is delayed 2 hours. So our start time is at 10. That means you can start dropping off at 9:30. Wildcat Care is 2 hours later at 8:30. And we don't have half-day pre-K on that date because it just doesn't make sense to have them for such a short period of time. For Wildcat Care families, just normal, because that's still on this year. You're still doing the same parking as last year. So park in the back, on the driveway, or on the street. On the street across from the main street, Lark Bunting, there's a neighborhood street. You can park against either curb and come on in, check in and out your kids through that back vestibule. And WWA Day Camp, which is the Cats Care, is back on this year. So if you are interested in getting your child in some daycare on maybe an in-service day or a couple days on a long break, all of that information will be available tonight as well at a booth, and you can talk to Bridget Green about that. All right, some other changes. Student check-in, check-out. You can come into school now. If you need to get your child for an appointment, you can come on into the lobby and to the front desk. Just have that mask on. If you are not comfortable with that, feel free to call the front desk and Deb can come out to you and help you out. Same with forgotten items, a lunch, a notebook, a big project, all can be brought in now. After school activities are also on this year. So all of our clubs, athletics are on. Students will have to wear a mask because of mask mandate. And if you are a spectator at an athletic event, whether it's your children, you, grandma, grandpa, whoever, they all need a mask as well. Hot lunch is still Michael's Denver. We're still doing those unitized lunches just because I have no idea what's going to happen this year with that and with COVID. So we're staying really safe there. You order and pay online. We will have information at our hot lunch table, milk juice table today or tonight. We do have a free and reduced lunch program. That's through our economic data survey. So if that's something that interests you to get a little bit of help with lunches in terms of financially, please fill out one of those forms so we can get you qualified and get you into the system. If they are eating in their classrooms, we'll deliver the hot lunch directly to the classrooms. If they're eating in the lunchroom, we will be delivering and having those available right in the lunchroom. Milk juice cards, you can pay over the phone with those, and we can take a credit card and you can just put an amount on your child's card, and we will send you reminders as you get close. And staff is just taking a milk order every single morning to make sure that we have those for the end of the day. Some big things to point out on our website, just reminders, all of these arrows are the important things I would be looking for. So parent resources, if you need something, that's the place to go. Classrooms is where you can see all of the web pages and the information from teachers. Sometimes they have links to homework assignments. They have calendars sometimes with links to homework assignments. So you can find some things if your child leaves something here. That notify WWA button, look at the green arrow, is the big one. It's back up there this year. So if you should have a child with a case of COVID and you go and get them tested, or there's COVID in your household, and you want to let us know, please use that button. That is open and available 24/7, even on the weekend. That really does help. And once you fill out that form, that automatically goes to my phone, the nurse's phone, my two AP's phones, and we start working on whether we need to quarantine or not and notifying Jefferson County Public Health. Otherwise, campus is there to check grades. Connect is the place to always check your information. If you move, if you change your telephone number, if you drop a number, if you want to be notified different, and you don't want emails anymore, you only want phone calls, whatever, you can do that within Connect. We also have our school calendar button there. Great place to know what's going on. Minimally is to look at a calendar. All right, we have a couple things I do every year. I just want to let you guys know about standard response protocol again. That's keeping kids safe. We practice these things. I've worked with the staff on them. We will be having a lockdown drill this year, and we will be having a shelter in place, kind of like the old tornado drill that we used to have when we were young. So we will do those as well this year in practice, just making sure all the kids know that safety is really important and sometimes really our number one thing we have to do. If we ever have something happen here where we're reunifying, I just want to remind you that they're only going to be released to those who are on campus. So think Jeffco Connect, because that feeds right into campus. You have to have your information correct on Connect and have the people you want and available to come get your kids if that should happen. So just please make sure Jeffco Connect is correct so that it feeds into campus right if we would ever have to give you your children at maybe another location should something happen. We also have the Safe to Tell program too. This is a lot for kids, but I've also had parents use it, letting me know about something that's happened. This is 24/7, so kids can call anytime and report something that's worrying them about a friend or another student or something they saw online regarding somebody here at school, and that way we can do it. It also does feed a city of police, Westminster police officer, Thomas Steele. He's our school resource officer. So several of us get these texts as well, any time of the day or night, so that we can work on those really fast if it's something super serious. So I want to let you know about that program. I'll be talking to all 5th through 8th grade at the beginning of the year about it. Finally, a couple more things. Securely internet safety. Remember, we have a program here that kind of watches what the kids are doing online to make sure that they're being appropriate with our equipment here at school. If there's something that's kind of worrisome, you as a parent can actually go on and see that too. Otherwise, we'll let you know if you haven't done it. But I just wanted to let you know that that's another way we keep our kids really safe here at school is using Securely. King Super cards are still going, you guys. Oh, I forgot to put an overall collection. They are still going. You can link your King Supers card if you shop there to Woodrow Wilson, and then we get a portion of that. That is truly how we are trying to pay for everyone's field trips and all the grade levels, and try to eventually pay for all of outdoor lab. And really, if I had my dream, I would pay for everyone to go to Washington, D.C. or cover their Colorado trips as well. So if we can keep continuing to do that, if you have relatives in other states, talk to Vicki Duvall in the clinic, our clinic aide, and she can see if there's a company that's associated with King Supers that participates at well, and they can link their card and we can get that money as well. So anything we can do, but we made over $12,000 last year. So thank you guys for whoever that was out there who are buying groceries at King Supers and we're getting the money back. A really easy way to help our kids out with field trips. All right, last slide. Back to school night. Open house is tonight from 6 to 7. It's A through L. From 7 to 8, it's M through Z. Again, if you absolutely can't attend that time, that's okay. Just trying to split you out. The only thing I ask is if you're from 6 to 7, please try to leave by 7 so we can open up that parking lot for the second half of the group who hasn't had a chance to visit the booths and do everything they need to do. If you have, there's 3 steps, three easy steps tonight. Number 1, bring your bulk supplies. That's paper towels, Kleenex, Clorox wipes, Ziploc bags. Any of those big 4 bulky ones can be dropped off at the music room, and we're going to get them to where they need to go into all the classrooms. That way your kids don't have to bring the big stuff on Thursday. Step 2 is to visit all the booths you want in the grass area. So come on in. We are outside, so no masks required. You don't have to dress nicely, and just come on in and see us. We'll have all the teachers around too. So trying to decide, find them, say hi. And if you have a middle school student, step 3, middle school students, please come. Bring a mask, bring all your supplies, bring everything for your locker, because you as a student will be allowed to enter through the side doors of the middle school and set up your locker tonight so that you are ready to go for the first day of school. And I have people in there helping, with locker combinations because it's been a while since we got to use lockers. 5th and 6th grade, just a side note, will be able to use lockers as well in their area, but they are doing that during the school day, not before school. So please keep your supplies at home if you are a 5th and 6th grader, besides the big ones. So I so look forward to seeing all of you guys tonight. I can't wait to say hi to you. I can answer any questions that you have. And if I don't know an answer, I will find out for you. So I can't wait to see you. Have a great night. And I hope you guys really enjoy the school year. We've worked hard to make it the best and the specialist and the safest that we can. And I look forward to seeing you very soon. Thanks.